vinyl community. How you doing? I'm Gary, and this is Physical Format Rock and Roll. Now I know that a lot of the bad weather we were having is past us, but if you're like me and you live in the Midwest, Canada, or wherever, you probably still got some cold weather ahead of you, right? Well, when it starts getting you down, you gotta find a way to get your head out of there. And here's a good way I do it, and maybe you'd like to. I kinda decide I'm gonna put myself somewhere else for a little while. How do I do that? Well, I get one of these ugly ass flowered shirts, get myself a drink, which I realize would be much better if it was a mixed fruity drink, you know, with some rum and whatever, a little umbrella in it. But I'm just too doggone lazy to do that. So instead, I'll just drink a few Coronas. Now, to help get me in the mood, I gotta have some music that puts me in the mood, right? Like some surf music type thing. So here's my soundtrack. You might take some of these suggestions if you want to go ahead and join me. You can't go wrong with the Ventures, right? They've got plenty of albums out. More albums than anybody. A lot of these you can find in the wild, and they're not that expensive. Great band. I love the Ventures. Another band that's in similar fashion, that's a newer band, is the Surfrajettes. Alright? So, these guys are actually from Canada, I think, but they're a surf band. They do all instrumentals. It's got that fantastic 60s kind of sound, kind of similar to what you're listening to here. They're on High Tide Recordings, and they've always got these cool looking vinyls. All they have right now is a couple 45s. Hopefully they'll make an album. But you always get little cool things in it when you order one of their 45s. I highly recommend them. What else? Well, how about some cheesy stuff? We got the Kingsman doing their soundtrack to How to Stuff a Wild Bikini, which is one of those super cheesy 60s beach movies that we all love. Now this one is not instrumental. This has vocals. This is just the soundtrack from the movie. Interestingly enough, this had Annette Funicello in it, but Frankie wasn't in this movie. What else we got? How about this one? The Astronauts. Surfing with the Astronauts. Obviously, this has some surf music. Look at it. This is a classic from the early 60s. It's not just all instrumentals, right? There's some vocals on that, vocals on here. Anybody remember Jan and Dean and the little old lady from Pasadena? Of course, if we're going to be doing our California themed stuff here from the 60s, we gotta have some Beach Boys in there, right? I love the Beach Boys, man. You just can't go wrong. And then finally, if we're gonna be kicking back and listening to some surf music, we gotta have some of the king of surf guitar, right? You know who I'm talking about, don't you? Dick Dale. That's who we're listening to right now. I know a lot of you already knew that, didn't you? So anyway, right now, I'm somewhere else, you know what I mean? And isn't that what music does for us? It takes us somewhere else. Sometimes you just gotta add a little to it. I love nostalgia, so I love all this kind of music. So maybe take a page out of my book, and when you start feeling down with the winter blues, get out your beach records, sit back, have a drink, maybe get up and dance if you want. That's up to you. I'm not going to do that right now. But thank you, everybody who has tuned in. Please leave any comments you'd like to. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, this probably won't make you subscribe, but I'd appreciate it if you did. Until the next time, I'm Gary. You can find me on Physical Format Rock and Roll. Maybe I need less of these. Physical Format Rock and Roll on Twitter and Facebook. I will see you down the road.